What's up, fam? Extraordinary Life with Elijah. And today, Sam is my extra, and I am the ordinary. Sam, I love the grace that's on your life to invite people into serving with and within your grace. That God has placed a very unique destiny on your life. He's given you good things to do. And that as you proactively exercise the gifts that God has given you to please His heart, by inviting others into your journey, you impart grace to them to know God more. And I thank you for the stewarding of your gifts. Fam, my friend Sam is on a journey to pursue the calling and the passion, the vision that God has placed on his life in music. He has a concert coming up here on April 30th. Go down to the description below. I'll leave a link there. You can find tickets if you want to be a part of that. But previous to this, he had a pre-release party on his 40th birthday. One of the most epic expressions of a 40th birthday ever. Threw down with such an awesome performance of some of his original songs. And as a result of him wanting to get the word out about his concert coming up here on April 30th, he asked me if I would come along and snag video of his live performance on his 40th birthday. I honestly had never done a project like that before, and it was one of the most difficult projects I've ever produced in videography. With the flashing lights and the different colors, I didn't know how to set color balance, and the lights would turn on and off, and so my autofocus kept dropping subject and hunting in and out, so I had to switch over to manual focus to track, and it made me all sorts of insecure. I had never done anything like it. To date, one of the most difficult contexts that I've ever shot in. As a result, I gave him the footage. He did all the editing himself, but I gave him all the footage. Said, here you go. I think I've got some good stuff for you, but I'm really not confident at all about this, Sam. I was really wrestling until he shot me the video that he edited. I don't often make videos with my earbud in my ear. I'm not that cool anymore. I just wanted to be able to watch this video along with you on my phone without having the audio bleed over into my camera system. Check out this video. It's just so crisp. Such a talented artist. Comes the breakdown. As I said, April 30th, get yourself some tickets. Now, the experience that I had though, that was so challenging was that I had honestly wrestled with running from the building screaming. I had committed to doing footage for Sam, and so I wanted to follow through on my commitment, but I was so insecure finishing the project. And when he shot me the footage, I was so captivated by the footage in the video that I had to reach out to him to ask if that B-roll was mine. There was one other gentleman who was with me who was shooting video, and I was so convinced that the quality in the video was so much better than what I was expecting, so much better than what I've produced in the past, that I was sure that it had been produced by the other videographer. When Sam texted back, he said, no, all of the up-close B-roll footage was 100% you. Friends, that's when it led to the consideration. You see, from the beginning, this has been happening. Right after that God created man, Satan came to woman and deceived her. He led out with, did God really say that you should not eat from any tree in the garden? Woman responds with some things that God didn't say and weren't entirely correct. But then Satan takes the reins again and says, oh, God doesn't want you to eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil because he knows that on the day that you do, you will be like him. You see, Satan has been, from the beginning, attempting to convince us that we have to work for, that we have to perform for and earn the things that God has already given to us by his grace. You see, man was already like God. God said, let us make man in our image and likeness. He imparted his image and likeness to man as a free gift of his unmerited favor. And so darkness came to woman and deceived her into believing that what she possessed, what she already had, was something that she longed for and needed to work really hard to perform better in order to produce video that looks as good as the video that you're watching that actually was the video that you made. And that's why I was so encouraged then as a result of Sam and I's process. That clear from the beginning as Sam started to invite me along in this process, that he has grace and a destiny on his life to pursue music. And out of the exercise of his gifts, that he imparted grace to me through request. Elijah, serve me through your ability in video. And I received that request. I received that invitation into serving his vision in his life and said yes. And in receiving that grace from him, I have been pouring that back into his journey and his destiny through the overflow of my videos. In this most recent video though, the natural overflow of his destiny, what he's pursuing, invited me out into a context and expression of my ability that was so far beyond my ability to be comfortable within. I wanted to run from it screaming. However, in staying in continuing to gather together, his grace imparted to me, and that I stepped out in faith to walk in and impart to him, that it drew out an expression of my possessed ability that was so beautiful that it captivated my own heart and made me think there's no way in the world that I just did that. But I did. And there is body life together. That's what the discipleship process of we disciple us looks like. The things that are very natural, normal, and ordinary for me, that it's the destiny on my life. It's what I'm doing. I'm making these videos. I'm reaching out to you. Open it, that I think about that constantly and I'm doing something about it, that I'm reaching out for you. And that in that process, that as I say, I'm exercising my gifts, would you like to serve me in this process and come along with me in serving me with the extra of your life? That's my invitation to you. And that as you do, just like with Sam, and I stepped out into his space and it stretched me beyond my wildest capacity of I will help you, but man, I hope I gave you something good. Did I do that right? That in that context, what it does is that it awakens us to our increased capacity and introduces to us the realities and the capacities that we already have always had at a higher level. That is so, I hope I'm doing a good job of communicating the ideas that are very ordinary in me to you. My encouragement to you is that as we step into community together, the fellowship of common unity in Christ together, that as we reach out to other body members, that Sam reaches out to me and says, Elijah, here's grace to you. Would you subscribe to what I am doing? Will you hit the button on, yes, I subscribe to this, Sam, but I'm not just gonna be a follower and I'm not gonna just like this. I'm gonna hit it, man, and then I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna throw myself into this with everything that I have to pour into what you are doing, the grace and the capacities that I have. Here you go. Here's some footage. I hope that serves you in your journey, Sam. As I hand that over, that then I get to discover myself, that I get to discover the destiny, the good works that God has given for me to do in such a way that's like, oh, I did that, I did that, I did that, I did that. That's my capability. And that in that space, that we serve to please our Father's heart through the exercise of our gifts to impart grace to others that they can know our Father more. It's like, wow, you put that in me. That's what I get to do. Wow. Who else needs some video work done? Who else needs some grace imparted to their lives? Who else needs an encouraging word, a prophetic insight, healing, the opening of the eyes of the blind, the surplus resources of generosity of people who are graced to generate wealth, preach, teach, evangelize, whatever the grace is on your life. I hope you're tracking with me. That as we serve one another and we honor one another above ourselves, seeking not our own interests, but the interests of others, that the mind of Christ that has been made ours, that is in us, the Spirit of God has been poured out into our lives to empower us to do the impossible, will overflow to one another in the expression of love in such a way that we will be captivated by our own authority to co-create together with the Creator who is our Father. If you subscribe to what I am doing, invitation through grace, hit the button, hit it, and then get it. Hit the bell as well so you get notified with the new content. And if you loved this video, you didn't just like it, hit the thumbs down button. I pray blessings on your day. I love you guys lots, and I will see you in the next video.